Hey there, beauties. Welcome back to my channel, A Fit Life Center, where we offer simple skills, meditative practices, and wellness coaching in order to help you create and maintain a life that's fit for you. Um, so, with that being said, I hope that you like and subscribe to this channel. Share it with people that you think that this information might be helpful for. Because my whole goal in life is to add to the already wonderful community of Black women who are helping us all to be well, to live the life we really want, to let go of the expectations that other people have put upon us, right? Because we can keep living out those expectations for the rest of our lives and sometimes leave the world unhappy and unfulfilled. So, I want to offer you skills that help you start to evaluate your life, add in things that are really in alignment with who you are. And if there are barriers that are preventing you from doing so, let's look at those barriers. Let's create a plan to move past those barriers, and let's provide some accountability so that you get a check-in, so that you know that you are making progress. And if you're not making progress, that's okay too. We can look at the areas that might be preventing that progress and tweak them so that you start to feel more able to create the life that you want for yourself. That's what we do. And that is why I added also the wellness coaching, right? I wanted to be able to globally offer people the opportunity for wellness coaching. And wellness coaching is not just getting in physical shape, right? I teach yoga, and I don't teach yoga to help people get into physical shape. I teach yoga to help people to get their mind, their body, their emotional and spiritual selves in alignment so that the choices that they are making are coming from a more aligned place. The byproduct of that sometimes is that you get more flexibility and more strength in the body, but that is really never the goal. I approach wellness the same way. I want to help you to begin to get your mind, your body, your emotional self, and your spirit in alignment. But I want to do it in a more detailed way so that we can actually look at the areas that are not working for you and create a plan that helps you to start getting small movement. So that could be anything, right? Absolutely anything, from fitness goals to switching jobs to finding a partner to letting go of a partner. No judgment here. Whatever you need, right? I've talked to women who wanted to just move to another state, another city, and we were able to create a goal to help them move to another city or state. Women who wanted to make a career change, and we figured out a goal to help them, or goals to help them make a career change. And they are honestly either in the process of doing it now, or they've done it and are well on their way. I want to continue to offer that. So, again, if you think that you have some people that might be interested in doing that, I want you to either comment below, or you can check it out on my website, which is afitlifecenter.com. I told you it'd be up by Monday, the 18th, but there's always some technical issues. My laptop decided to take a nosedive. I've had to get another laptop, blah, blah, blah. It's life in the remote world, right? So hopefully I will have that up by the weekend. If this new laptop I've got can do the job. The jury's still out on that. All right, I can't see. I'm looking at the time because I don't want to waste all of your time. The last time I actually taught something, I talked about radical acceptance, right? And I wanted to talk about the steps you start to radically accept, right? So, a little review. Radically accepting is accepting whatever is going on in your life, mind, body, emotionally, mentally, right? You accept what it is. And that can be really challenging, especially when it's something that you don't want. You didn't want it to happen. You don't want to have to deal with it, right? And so you start to notice resistance, denial, anger, frustration coming up. And sometimes, though those emotions can be appropriate, long term, they might be defeating your purpose because you can't make any changes unless you're able to accept what is currently going on in your life, right? If I had somebody brought me a plate of green peas, I don't like green peas at all, really, right? I have to accept that this plate is in front of me so that I can decide, am I going to eat this before the health benefits, or maybe I'm going to decide to go in and make myself something else to eat, right? That's a simplistic example, but I have to be able to accept what's in front of me first before I can decide what changes need to be made. So, if it is very difficult sometimes to radically accept what is happening in the moment, how about some steps to make it a little bit easier, right? So again, I have my computer open over here, so you're going to see me glancing over every once in a while to look to make sure I'm staying on track. So step by step, how do you begin to radically accept? The first thing is you have to observe that you are questioning or fighting the reality of what is. It might sound something like, it shouldn't be this way. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Right? That's when you're going to know that maybe you're not accepting the reality of what's happening right now. The second step, once you observe this, is to remind yourself that the pleasant reality, it is as it is. It has happened and it cannot be changed. This is what happened. You can even say that to yourself. This is what happened. So that it starts to solidify in your mind that the reality of it is already happening. The next step is remind yourself that there are causes for this reality. Maybe there's some sort of history that led up to the reality that you're facing. Maybe that there were a series of factors in your life that maybe created these circumstances. Just asking yourself maybe how this happened, right? Because very few things happen just in a box, right? Sometimes we have some tragedies, right, that happen and it just kind of takes us off guard. But sometimes we have things that have led up to the situation that we find ourselves in. The third thing is maybe start to accept slowly with your whole body, your whole mind, your spirit. This is happening. Allow it to just start to resonate in your mind first. This is happening. What does it feel like in your body when your body starts to accept this is happening? Sometimes you feel emotions start to rise up. Those are natural emotions connected to the fact that this is happening, right? Sometimes the resistance and frustration and anger that we initially feel can cover up the natural emotions connected to the reality of what is. And sometimes you might feel sadness. Sometimes you might actually feel a little bit of excitement if it's something and that's maybe unknown. You don't know quite the outcome, but it is changing your life in a way that you're not quite sure where it's going. There might be some excitement. Maybe be creative, right? And finding ways to involve yourself in acceptance, using self talk. I'm able to get through this. I have a support system. I've faced difficult things before and I've gotten through it. Also consider relaxation skill, right? Remember, I'm a mindfulness yoga teacher, right? So sometimes just learning how to breathe and relax your body can help your body and your mind start to accept the reality of what is. Maybe practice willingness. I am willing to accept that this is happening. Visualize in your mind what it looks like to accept. That imagery in your mind sometimes can create a willingness in the body, in the mind, in your spirit, in your emotional self to accept it. Sometimes practice the opposite action, right? If you're a person that tends to just go for the anger or the frustration, right? Practice doing the opposite thing. I'm going to sit here peacefully. I'm going to allow for calmness to show up in my mind and in my body. I'm going to do something calming and relaxing. I'm going to make myself a cup of chamomile tea. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to sit outside and just enjoy nature. Acting as if you've already accepted it starts to sometimes get the ball rolling. You're going to cope ahead when events seem unacceptable. So something shows up and you know it's going to bring some difficulty. Think about what you can do ahead of time to help you cope with it. You're going to make sure as best you can that you get a good night's sleep, right? You're going to call a friend, phone a friend for some support, right? You're going to have something that helps you improve the moment or feels good to you when that event has happened, when it's over with. You're going to rehearse in your mind over and over again. What would it feel like if you could just accept the unacceptable, right? And then attend to your body, your physical sensations as they show up. If your breath is becoming short, inhaling through your nose, expanding your belly. Exhaling out of the nose, releasing the breath, allows the body to relax so that it can start to process and accept what's happening. Again, allow for the natural emotion to show up. Maybe you feel disappointed or sad or grief arises if it's you lost a loved one, right? Allow for those natural emotions to have its time and space in your life. It's important to process those emotions so that you don't just keep spinning around and around on the wheel and feeling like you can't get yourself off of there, right? The other thing you can do, and maybe I'll talk about this more, there's a pros and cons. A pros and cons list for accepting the reality of what is. A pros and cons list against accepting the reality of what is. So you just get a piece of paper and a pen. On the front of it, you write pros and cons for accepting, fill in the blank. Flip the paper over, pros and cons for not accepting, fill in the blank. And then when you're done, look at it and decide for yourself, is it worth the struggle to continue to not accept the reality of what has already happened? So that's the skill. That's some of the skills for accepting the reality of what is. Because here's the deal. The reason why I'm teaching this skill is because in order to create the life that you want for yourself, a fit life for you, you have to start looking at what's not working. What is the reality of your current life? Do you have a job that doesn't align with who you are? Are you in a relationship that doesn't align with who you are? Does your environment not support who you are? Those are your realities now. As soon as you can accept those realities, you and I, through some wellness coaching, can work on setting goals to make those changes. That's why I'm teaching these skills, because that's the deal, right? Anything that has shown up in my life, I've had to accept the reality of what it is right now before I can even begin to start to make changes. And it's not easy. It's not easy because sometimes we'll blame ourselves for the state that we find ourselves in. Doesn't help you, right? You can take responsibility for the state you find yourself in. Responsibility says, I had something to do with this. But if I had something to do with this, I can also fix it one step at a time. That's what we're talking about. So I hope that you find these skills helpful. I hope they give you some insight into what you can do to make positive changes in your life. Again, check out my website, afitlifecenter.com. If you live in Arizona and you are wanting to get into some therapy, you can schedule that with me on my website. If you're interested in mindfulness and yoga, anywhere in the world, you could be anywhere. I'm able to assist you in learning how to relax, calm the body, and then the mind and the spirit follow, right? And now, hopefully by Sunday, wellness coaching. Let's get you there. Let's get some goals together to get you there, because it's time. It's time to make some changes. And we can, together, one step at a time. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And no matter what, please believe you can create a life that's fit for you.